Frank over CageMinds.com. We're here and there's a storm coming. We're bringing in a hurricane. Hurracane Heather Jo Clark we're gonna be interviewing her today. The lovely and talented boxer, former hockey player, MMA fighter, and photographer. She recently moved out to Las Vegas. Welcome you in. Heather, how you feeling?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. So I heard you had some news for us. An opponent change really recently.
Yes, Brianna was ill and unfortunately had to pull out of the fight. So very, very thankful that I got an opponent to step up. And Hannah Citers from Charlotte, North Carolina, is going to come in and take her place.
So an opponent change. We are 8 days away from the fight right now. What does that do to your training, to everything that you have been preparing for, to the game plan you had been making?
Well, Brianna's a lefty, she's southpaw, so I had some certain things that I was working for the last, basically, 7, 8 weeks to specifically, work to get the southpaw. But like I always say is, basically everything you can do to a southpaw, you can do to a righty. It's just not the other way around. There's certain things you can go to do on a righty that you can't do on a southpaw. So I'm not too worried about the change. I've fought all my other fights have been against traditional fighters, and most of the fighters in the gym are traditional. So I've been continually sparring traditional fighters as well, and I'm confident, and I really feel I have a lot of experience, not just in the cage, but life experience. She's also, this girl's I think 20 or 21 years old. So, I got my full woman strength, and I plan to use it and take her out.
So then, what's going to be your focus now for the next 8 days?
My focus is basically continuing to cut weight and just stay on my game, practice, making sure that I'm on point, making sure that I'm doing just what I do. My game plan is to fight, fight well and to fight, the way that I know how to fight. It's not so much how she's going to fight, because when you get in there, you never know. You have a game plan, but things change. You never really know what the other person's going to bring to the table. So, fight the fight, and I plan to go in there and figure out a way to finish her. That's what I try to do. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do that my last couple fights, and I've actually lost my last 2 fights. So I really need to go in there aggressive and figure out the best way, if it's standing knockout or takedown to the TKO or submission. But definitely it's going to be one of those 3.
Well, with that also I wanted to ask, with the 8 days, how much gym time do you even have left, and how much is it going to be now, some of that downtime, just the weight cutting and just the getting ready to try and peak?
Yeah, really, I only have 2 days left of hard training, and then I take Sunday off, and then Monday and Tuesday basically are just cutting weight, and then Wednesday morning I head out to Nashville. Wednesday night start cutting weight, actually cutting water, and then weigh-ins on Thursday. So yeah, not a lot left, but same kind of thing for her. She's probably watching my fights over and over again and trying to figure out what my bad habits are, and what, it's all good, because I came to Syndicate to work on all those bad habits. So game plan all you want, Hannah, but this is going to be a different hurricane this fight, so she has no idea what's coming.
As far as I saw with Hannah, she's got 3 amateur fights, at least that's what's reported on ShareDog. How much do you...
Essentially, what's weird is, whenever it's recorded on ShareDog, I guess it's wrong, because the XFC put out a report saying she's like 7-1 amateur or 6-1 amateur MMA and like 7-0 Muay Thai. So, she's got some experience, definitely amateur experience. And I think she's going to be a solid girl. She's a country girl, farm girl, but you know what? It's going to be a lot, I think, for her to coming in on this short notice, on a big show, and on TV for the first time, and all that stuff. They know it's all going to come into play. Whereas, I have that experience. It will be my fifth TV fight and fourth fight with XFC. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to use all those little things to my advantage.
XFC just crowned a strawweight champion. You have a loss to her. We had kind of heard leading up to this fight when it was going to Brianna that it was a number one contenders bout. Have you heard anything about that kind of talk?
I don't really worry about it. I'm not really concerned about the belt. To me, a belt is something that you put on your waist to hold your pants up, and that belt doesn't even do that. So, I don't mean to put it down in any respect. I think Stephanie deserves the belt. She's a great fighter and an awesome girl, and she's awesome. But I'm really more interested in fighting other people that I haven't fought yet, and continuing to raise my ranking in my division. And really, that's kind of what's more important to me right now than going for the belt, to be honest. So I'm not too worried about that. I really, like I said, I'd like to fight, girls that are in the top 10 and to start raising that ladder so that eventually I get an opportunity when the time comes to fight that number one girl and then take that spot.
We know you're coming off of the back-to-back losses to Stephanie and to Felice Herrig. One of the most intense weigh-ins and an emotional conflict, also your last fight with Felice. Do you see that intenseness coming to this weigh-in, or that was a special occasion?
That was definitely a special occasion. She's one of a kind, that girl. And, I've talked enough about her. I think people really understand my feelings and how I definitely dislike her. So, there's not much to say about it. I think now the real thought is, let's get that rematch one day and really show her what it's like to fight somebody with two arms instead of one. I mean, I was beating her hands down until I broke my arm. So for her to come out after that, do rest and win a split decision, I just think it's just really disrespectful. And the way she yelled in my face after the final bell and stuff like that, it's just completely disrespect. There's no class there, and I intend to pay her back all that when I get the opportunity.
Well, gotta ask, how is the injury? How was the recovery process? How'd that all go?
Well, the recovery process was definitely an uphill battle. I started out when I got the okay and the go ahead to start training full 100%. It was really difficult. It really hurt to even just punch. My whole arm rattled and, with the plate and everything in there. But I believe now, if I hit somebody with that, they're going to feel that plate, and it's only going to make that punch stronger. So I really feel like I feel completely, and I'm ready, even stronger now. And it's only just, like I said, it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. And I definitely believe that, if I can fight with a broken arm, and you gotta really do something to me to take me out. And I think I've proved that to everyone that watches the sport, and let everyone know that I'm tough and I'm game.
Also with that, in the recovery process, you made a huge move, moving from Albuquerque out to Las Vegas. How did that affect you and your life as you're trying to recover and everything, and how has the move been?
The move's been really, it's been a little tough. I've been moving house a lot. It's literally 4 times in the short time that I've been here, just kind of searching for the right location and situation, and I finally feel like I found a great one. I'm living with one fighter right now from the gym, and a big house, but we'll have to be having more roommates coming along as the months go by. So, but I lucked out. I got the master bedroom with a jacuzzi tub and 2 walk-in closets, and I kind of have my own little apartment inside my room. So it's really nice. excuse me, it's really nice and relaxing and very thankful. So on that end, it's been a little stressful, but like I said, I'm settled now and feel good. And just it's been a little bit of an adjustment training with more men than women, and not having that speed versus the strength and whatnot. And it's, of course, my arm had been injured. It was a lot harder to. I wish I would have had some smaller builds as opposed to some of the bigger guys to train with. But I think in the end, everything happens for a reason, and maybe having those stronger guys and pushing my arm, even though it hurt at the time, made it stronger faster. So I'm ready, man. I'm 100%. I've actually never been going into a fight this well, this much strength and no injuries. I think every fight that I've had before this, I've either had like a knee injury or, I had a concussion fairly before, or something. Like, there was always something before every fight. So this fight, I've been injury free. I feel great. I feel really excited. I have a coach that's been with me throughout my camp every day, in and out, and he's going to be cornering me. So I feel really like there's a lot of consistency there that I was really looking for, and I just feel really, really well prepared.
I gotta believe everyone's jealous of you now after mentioning the 2 walk-in closets and the jacuzzi tub. Sounds like everything else is going great, though, too. But what I want to ask about is, you said you're working with a lot of bigger, stronger men. So what are you expecting the speed difference to be like when you're inside the cage now taking on someone your size? It's going to be a speed difference than what you've been practicing against.
Guys are not slow either, they're pretty fast as well, and there are some of the smaller guys, the 35ers and a couple of 25ers that will come with that same speed. So I'm not too worried about it. I just hope I don't fall out of the cage.
That'd be something else to see. What about boxing, though? Wanted to bring that up. Talk about falling out the cage. It's a lot easier to fall out the ring. You've been splitting your time, coming off of a draw from July. What was that experience like?
That was a lot of fun. I took that fight just because I wanted to continue training. It was really, when I first, like I said, got back and okay to start training again, wrestling and jiu-jitsu right away was it's kind of excruciating. All the muscles and ligaments around my arm were just not quite adjusted to the plate, and it was just really hard. So I thought, let me try to take another boxing fight, and I was able to find an organization down in LA, which is my hometown and stuff. So that was exciting to go and be able to fight in front of some of my friends and family that have never been able to come to a fight, and then fight someone that I'd actually trained with before and knew a little bit, and knew her husband quite well from training with him for years. So, it really was kind of like an intense sparring match in front of a big crowd. So I really had a great time. I unfortunately come off with a draw, but it was a fulfilled experience, and definitely something that I look forward to doing again in the future.
Sounds awesome. Can't wait to see you back in the cage. XFC 26, Night of Champions 3. Your fight will be part of the main card on Access TV on October 18th. Gotta thank you for the time, and wanted to give you a moment to thank everybody.
Well, I first want to thank you for having me on the show and just giving all of us women fighters a chance to get our name out there, because unfortunately we don't get so much recognition as the guys do, so I appreciate that. I want to thank all my teammates and coaches at Syndicate Mixed Martial Arts here in Las Vegas. Also want to thank all my old teammates and coaches back at Jackson Winkle John. And, without them, I wouldn't be who I am today. I want to thank all my sponsors, including Tussle, has been there from the very beginning of my career, as well as the Vega supplements. They've been sponsoring me before I even had a fight. Another company called Thrive Foods Direct that makes all my food pre-made, vegan, organic, plant-based, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, pre-made meals. And let me tell you, it's an amazing sponsor. I also want to thank Virus International for sending out some amazing compression fabric clothes and training gear. They really, really great stuff. Keeps me cool and really comfortable. Doesn't ride up and all kinds of fun stuff like that. I also want to thank my newest sponsor, Tap Out, who it's kind of been a dream since I started this sport, and Scrape and Punk Active gotten behind me, and definitely very thankful for that sponsor. The Living Dead Tattoo is a tattoo sponsor that I have out here in Vegas. They've done a few pieces on me and continue to work on me, and we got some great artists over there, so if you're in Vegas and need a tattoo, definitely check them out. The Fight Dentist has just made me a amazing mouth guard. I can't say how awesome it is. Honestly, it's probably the best mouth guard I've ever had. So very excited to have that and fighting in that upcoming fight. Let's see, Extreme Cola, the company that is a trainer that works really hard on working with me and getting my core done. And then last but not least, my chiropractor, Dr. Jacob Speckle, who, without him, I would be literally in pieces. So he works on me several times a week and keeps me strong and recovered and helps me to keep pushing hard. So, yeah, that's about it.
Thank you for the time. Best of luck next Friday.
Thank you. Thank you.